Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I'm hoping you can hear me loud and clear now. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty with a microphone previously, so I'm hoping that that's now been fixed. Let's just go off that. Just setting up a comments phone now, just bear with me 2 seconds and I'll hopefully be able to see all the comments on the other phone. Hi Nagy, how are you? Let me know in the comments if the audio does sound better than the first time around. Hopefully it does. Hopefully we fix that problem. Audio is great, brilliant. Thank you very much for letting me know, Nagy. Much appreciated. So we're going to be walking around doing the Pikachu Spotlight Hour, and as I was trying to explain before when the audio wasn't brilliant, is that we are going to be doing it in a different location tonight. My local village is currently in an outage. We've got no mobile data. We can't even play Pokemon Go when we go out and about, except on Wi-Fi when I'm at home. So it does get a little bit annoying because we can't really go and do the live stream. So what we've decided to do is drive about 15 miles away, get to somewhere where I know has got signal and quite a few stops, and do a live stream around here. So that's why last night we didn't go live, unfortunately, for Max Monday, was because even then we were having issues in my area. So that meant we couldn't go live. And then today we're still having issues. So instead of just cancelling the live stream, I've decided to drive a bit further away and get some signal elsewhere. So we're all live tonight. Pikachu costume Spotlight Hour, which is the party hat Pikachu, which we actually really want shiny. I really want it. It's been out a couple of times in the game. It's not a new costume. It is something that's been repeated a few times, but it is something I desperately want and still missing, even though it has been around a couple of times, like I've said. So we're going to be walking around doing Spotlight Hour tonight in 7 minutes time. But also, we've also got Gimmighoul. Now, Gimmighoul was released around about 2 years ago in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games on the Nintendo Switch. And then, of course, you could get Gimmighoul by sending a postcard over to the Switch and getting what you call a gold bag or a coin bag. With that coin bag, it worked very much similar to the Meltan box, if you remember that a couple of years ago. And it is still a thing, the Meltan box, believe it or not. But the coin bag works in a very similar way. It's basically an incense which attracts nothing but Gimmighoul. So we have got one of those ready to go, and we may put it on. Shall we put it on now, or do you want to put it on after the Spotlight Hour? Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to do either. We could catch Gimmighouls as well as Pikachus during Spotlight and see if we get a shiny if you want. But the Gimmighoul is of course notorious with the number 9. You get 9 gold coins from spinning a gold stop, or sometimes even 99 if you're lucky. And that is probably the reason why they've decided to release Gimmighoul shiny during this 9th anniversary event of Pokemon Go. Yeah, 9 years of Pokemon Go. It's unreal how it's been going so long, and we're still playing it as if it is relatively new. But here we are 9 years later. Hi Sophie, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. So let's have a quick look and see what tasks we've picked up from these few stops. That seems quite high as a Smoliv. 477, not too bad. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you want me to put the coin bag on now and do it in conjunction with the Spotlight Hour, which is going to start in a few minutes time, or whether you want me to leave it until afterwards and we can do it as a separate thing after the Spotlight Hour. Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to go and do the coin bag at any time. But let's just check. We have got one ready to go. Here we are. Coin bag is available and we can open it. And we could actually get the shiny Gimmighoul from the first coin bag. That would be pretty epic. But if you are unfortunate enough to not have access to a Nintendo Switch and get the coin bag through that route, they have actually made Gimmighoul, with its shiny release, available on research tasks for the first time ever. And those research tasks you need to keep an eye out for are the ones I've currently got in. 9,999 Stardust. Again, Gimmighoul having a lot of relationship with the number 9. 9,999 Stardust for an encounter. That is guaranteed to be Gimmighoul. It's the only research task during this event where you can get a Gimmighoul. So keep an eye out for that research task. It's going to be on Pokestops. It's not very common. I've only picked up one in the whole of today, and we're currently working through it now. So make sure to keep an eye out for that if you can. The rest of them are other costume Pokemon, including Bulbasaur, Squirtle and Charmander. I'll gift you a ticket. Enjoy. Shiny luck. Hey, thank you, Rev. That is very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, mate. There we go. 10,000 from Megan. We won't look at that. Let's see if Rev's ticket comes up. Perhaps not need to interact with things for a bit and then it will come up. So yeah, 3 minutes until the spotlight hour starts. And like I mentioned before, we are in a different location to where I normally play. And that's because there is a mobile data outage. I cannot use any 4G or 5G in my area, completely down as of yesterday. Hence we didn't go live yesterday. Today, I've decided to drive to the nearest town 15 miles away, believe it or not, to try and play some of this event for you and to put on a live stream for today. It's very, very annoying that we've gone down, yeah. So let's just, another task, another Gimmighoul task, earn 9,999 Stardust. That is a brilliant task to find. Let's see if we can find another one. No, 6 berries. So we're only going to be doing the 9,999 Stardust tasks. The other costume shinies, Blastoise, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pikachu, for example, during Spotlight Hour, but also Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. I've already got them shiny, and I'm not too bothered about completing a family of them. I've already got one of each. I'm not too bothered about completing a family. But it looks like 9,900 Stardust. Where is that? It's just come up. One of the tasks is there. That's a Bulbasaur. That is from the special event tasks. And this is actually the ticket that Rev's brought us by the looks of it. Thank you very much for that, Rev. We are currently, I didn't even see the ticket pop up, but thanks very much for that, Rev. We're starting to already complete some of your research tasks, which is brilliant. Yeah, that's the one. Awesome. Thank you very much for that, mate. Very much appreciated. So there is also these little party hats appearing on the map, as you saw there. So ever since the apples got released, and if you remember way back when it was April Fool's Day and we had the Spotlight Hour, there was Pokeballs appearing on the map back then, which could be items, and they could also be Voltorb encounters. Now they seem to have taken that into a different item altogether with a party event, with this 9th anniversary party event. And we are now seeing party hats appearing on the map that could be encounters with party hat Pokemon, or we could be encounters with items. So you can actually get Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Pokeballs from these party hats that you see lying about on the map, or you could get encounters, which of course all of the costume Pokemon, all of the party hat Pokemon can all be shiny. So hopefully you can get one of those for yourself. Right, so we will do the daily adventure incense first, and then we will do the coin bag. I think that's what the plan's going to be. We'll do the daily adventure incense first, and then the coin bag afterwards and see if we get a shiny Gimmighoul. What would be brilliant is a shiny Pikachu during Spotlight Hour and then a shiny Gimmighoul. That would be some hour and a half of Pokemoning. But yeah, 6:01. So as you can see, all the Pikachus are now spawning, and we are going to be trying to catch them all and see if we can get that shiny one. Don't even mind if it's boy or girl. I know quite a few people would rather prefer a certain gender of Pikachu to be shiny, or try and get one of each even. I'm not too fussed with that. Don't really mind too much about genders of Pokemon. As long as they're shiny, I'm happy. What is that on the incense? Silcoon. So I'm from the Midlands in the UK. That's where I'm from. But I am playing somewhere a little bit different today. Like I say, because of a mobile data outage where I live, I've had to drive quite a distance to get a live stream on today and to play with Spotlight Hour. There is a party hat, and it's a Wurmple. Of course, Wurmple, if you played the New Year event earlier this year, just after the New Year's, we had shiny boosted for the purple Wurmple, the shiny Wurmple, with the party hat. And I think I ended up getting about 11 that event. It was so shiny boosted. It was probably 1 in 64, whereas it always used to be 1 in 512. I would assume that it's full odds this event. Well, I'm not too sure. I haven't seen any confirmation on any of the shiny odds so far this event. I'm hoping we can get a shiny Pikachu. Now, as you can see down at the bottom, we are working towards our hyper training tasks as well, which at the moment require us to catch 1,500 Pokemon with our Gengar as our buddy. And we are doing Party Hat Gengar. Gengar being my most favoured Pokemon. The Party Hat one being one of the first costumes that Gengar ever had on the game. Score Bunny. So again, keeping out for those research tasks. We've just completed one, so we know we've got a space free. Let's just see what we get here. Don't want that, we'll get rid of that. Another party out there on the map. Any shiny Pikachu? No, not yet. Nothing as of yet. Hopefully we can change that. Only 5 minutes in so far, so hopefully there's plenty of time to change that. Thank you very much, Sergeant Mason. Thank you very much for that. So let's have a quick look. Oh, we've just got another Gimmighoul task. So we've actually been very, very lucky. We've only saw one all day, and now we have just had two in the space of about 10 minutes. So perhaps we've just been very unlucky, or perhaps they are rare and I've just been very lucky these last 10 minutes. But we are going to be only doing those tasks, as we mentioned before, trying to get the shiny Gimmighoul as we search for shiny Pikachu with a party hat. And we found one task, so perhaps they are as rare as what I thought we were. Egg. Get that free incubator used. Loads and loads of spawns around here. We need to just catch all these first. I think what also might help us is a star piece. That will definitely progress those tasks a little bit quicker. So it is quite a nice difference between the female and male Pikachu. Of course, you must know by now, but the male ones have a straight tail, and the female have these little indentations on the tail. So virtually like a love heart shape virtually on the tail. And there you go, the male one has a straight tail. So really easy to notice. Of course, some Pokemon have really obvious differences between male and female, and some you cannot tell, they're exactly the same. So it is nice that you can tell this one. So these party hat encounters, when you click on them on the map, it looks like it's definitely an encounter when your avatar shows an exclamation mark next to your avatar appears. And if it's an item, it just registers straight away as an item and you receive it straight away. So if you see that little exclamation mark next to you, there's a little bit of a delay. You see a little exclamation mark next to your avatar on the map, and you know that it's an encounter. It's a bit like on the original games, on the OG games, where you stopped dead in the grass and there was a bit of a delay and then you knew you was encountering something. I wonder if they're trying to do that on purpose. Gimmighoul, 454, no shiny. Let's see on the next one. Gimmighoul, 453, no shiny. So we'll catch those later. Looks like they're going to be a bit of an annoying catch with a red circle. Charmander there with party hat, no shiny. So other than Spotlight Hour, this Pikachu is actually not about during this anniversary event. It's the only time it's going to be about is during this Spotlight Hour. And in raids, we get the birthday cake hat Pikachu on raids, and that is shiny boosted during this event. And we also get the Eevee as well in raids, I believe. And I think that is shiny boosted as well. Hey up Vince, how are you? Sorry for the delay, I've just been trying to catch up with where I am catching at the moment. Also trying to work out where to go because in a completely different location, so I'm not too sure whereabouts and which direction to walk in best for the spawns really. We're just taking a guess every time we walk in a direction pretty much. As you can see, we have got a new Pokestop by us that we haven't spun before. You can tell that by the white ring. We'll catch these spawns here and then we'll spin it. And before we do spin it, we'll just check to see what task we've got in because we want the 9,999 Stardust task. That is the one that gives us Gimmighoul. So that is the one we're going to be after. 5 curveball throws, so that can be chucked away. We've got 2 task space free, so we'll spin 2. Both rubbish, so both will be chucked away. Party hat encounter, what is it? Eevee? So we've managed to hit okay amount of excellent throws. A couple more stops near us here, we'll get those in a second. Getting a motorcycle first, deal. Nice one. Everybody who lives near Vin's, just be careful. Vin's is getting a motorcycle, so I would stay off the road if I was you. So we've got another Gimmighoul task, no shiny. 250cc for town cruising, awesome. Hey Dan, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Still 250, like you say, 250 is plenty enough for just going around town. Absolutely plenty. So let's see what task this is before we spin that next stop. So pretty rubbish in terms of tasks around here. We've had 3 Gimmighoul so far today now. Let's see if we can get any more. Every now and again, when I click on a Pikachu, I think it's shiny. It just seems darker somehow sometimes. My phone screen isn't the best to sort of see the difference on some of these shinies, where they are really close. Had insane go fest this year. Sunburn, yes, definitely sunburned. I think the sun caught a lot of people off guard, to be fair. I think it did catch a lot of people off guard. Let's see what else we've got. We've got all these to bin. these can all go in the bin. So yeah, the sun definitely caught a lot of people off guard. I think we had around about 30, 31 degrees on the Saturday. On the Sunday it was a little bit cooler, but still around about 25 degrees. It wasn't nice. It wasn't very nice to be playing Pokemon Go in, but I'd prefer it like that than it be absolutely throwing it down with rain. So if you had to have one or the other, I'd have definitely preferred what we got. But still, yeah, it was terrible. No shiny since the stream started. Started hyper training Mawile. I'm one power up away from maxing it. Awesome. Is there any reasoning behind Mawile? Of course, it's a very cool Pokemon, and I'm very fond of Mawile myself because it was one of those level 3 raids which just took me so long to get shiny. It was over 300 raids that I had to do, around about 324, something like that. It was in the 320s before I actually eventually got it shiny, and Mawile has always been 1 in 64 odds ever since its mega release. And then it had its mega release and it actually got its odds worsened to 1 in 128 because all megas are 1 in 128. Grookey. No costume, but Grookey nonetheless. But no shiny so far on the stream, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, 320. I was driving, I was getting messages from people like 15, 20 miles away saying, there's a Mawile just hatched here, come get it. And I'd drive to it and get it. And I'd get there with like a few minutes remaining. It was crazy the lengths I was going to. I'd just fully invested myself in getting one. And then I eventually did, and I was like nearly in tears with enjoyment. I think it's one of those things that if a shiny hunt takes you so much effort and so long to do, it just feels so much better when you get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a curse. Not getting one for 320 raids is ridiculous. But yeah, it was definitely a nice feeling to get one. Probably the nicest feeling I've ever had for a shiny. Oh, nice. So it was actually one of your first shinies, if not your first shiny, Dan. That is a pretty cool one to do. Yeah, I do like the sentimental ones. I know a lot of people in my community are going for Zacian, Zamazenta, stuff that's going to be good in raids and stuff like that, or is the best in class at the moment. But when you think about Pokemon like that, we had Necrozma. I thought we had a shiny one. Oh, it's giving us a second chance. Ah, no, nothing. Hey, Two Dogs, how are you? So yeah, what I was saying before is that a lot of people in my community, before that Moltres interrupted us, a lot of people in my community were doing the likes of Zacian and Zamazenta. And if you remember, only about a year ago, we had Necrozma, Dustmane and Dawnwings released the fusion version. They became best in class. Zacian and Zamazenta have now defeated them and they've now become best in class. So it always seems to be the case that you think you're getting the best Pokemon at the moment, and then all of a sudden it becomes not as relevant as the year before. And I can fully expect that in about a year's time, 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go. My guess as to what we're going to get for the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go would be Mega Mewtwo X and Y. I can fully see that happening on a Go Fest, and that's probably why they trialled the Zaramazenta and Zacian appearing on different days during Go Fest, was the fact that in potentially a year's time we could have a Go Fest where Mewtwo X appears on a Saturday and Mewtwo Y appears on the Sunday. So that's potentially what they were trialling this week. Normally during Go Fest, prior to this year, we had the raid bosses throughout the entire weekend. We didn't have any of this scenario where we had certain things on the Saturday, like a legendary raid, and then a different legendary on the Sunday. It was all mixed up. So the reason that we did that, or I think the reason that we did that this year, was potentially to experiment and see what feedback there would be from it, ready for what's going to be, I'm sure, a big anniversary next year, the 10th anniversary. And it also coincides that they've moved Go Fest forward as well. Of course, we had the Go Wild area added to the big event list last year, and one of the reasons he moved Go Fest forward this year is because of equally spacing those out. We've got the Go Tour at the end of February, start of March time. We have the Go Fest around about 3 or 4 months afterwards. And then about 3 or 4 months after that, we have the Go Wild area. But when you look into potentially what dates could be for next year's Go Fest, it will pretty much fall in line with the 10th anniversary. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a huge, huge one, potentially combining both the 10th anniversary and Go Fest together to make one huge event. You've seen how close the 9th anniversary is to the recent Go Fest, literally a couple of days or after. So the 10th anniversary one could well be a huge event where we have a Go Fest with Mewtwo X and Y released, which I would fully expect. It's one of the only original Megas that we've not yet had in the game. I think the other ones are the likes of Camerupt, which we haven't yet seen in the game. We haven't seen Mega Metagross, which will definitely have a raid day at some stage. We haven't seen the likes of Mega... There's another one. There's definitely another one. But there's about three more Megas that we are missing. And then there's Mewtwo as well. So maybe over the next 12 months we'll see those first 3 release, and then all of a sudden the Mega Mewtwo. Sharpedo, that's it. Thanks very much, Dan. Yeah, so Sharpedo, Camerupt and Metagross are yet to be released. But I can see them being released very, very soon in the future. And then they'll leave Mewtwo to the last because it's the biggest one. It's going to be one of the best Pokemon in the game. And I think some people have already started prepping for when that happens, trying to predict how good it's going to be and using their bottle cap on Mewtwo, which I think is quite a sensible option to do. Use your bottle cap on a Mewtwo and try and get a decent one ready for when the potential Mega releases come out during next year's Go Fest. So that'll be actually a really, really good idea. But I think if you haven't yet decided and you have earned your bottle cap, I think you've got until the 6th of July, something like that, to decide what you want to do. I think you've got to the end of this week, pretty much, to decide what you want to put it on. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So I was just letting somebody pass then, sorry, so I missed a comment. I mean, in real games, is really a better Psychic type than Mega Mewtwo? Potentially not, no. And Mega Mewtwo not only will probably go to the best Psychic type, but could actually go to the best Fighting type. I think one of its Megas is really, really good as a Fighting type. And because of how much different movesets it can learn, it'll be very, very surprising if it doesn't go towards, if not become, the best fighting type. So maybe the best in class in two different ones, which when you think of Mewtwo, it perhaps deserves that sort of credit. It perhaps deserves to be back up there as one of the best, because at the moment it's fell way down the list, and I think only its Mega is going to make it go up. We pushed it up a little bit with the release of Psy Strike as a move, if you remember that coming out on the game. Everybody went mad for that, and since then it's been pushed further and further down the meta again in terms of a psychic type. I bottle capped my shiny Groudon as I planned to do so. The reasoning I did this because Groudon is a beastmon, and to be quite honest, we used Groudon in most raids. Yes, very, very good choice actually, because the website I was looking on, which you can go check out yourself, it's pokegohub.com. I think it's /best raid attackers or something along those lines. You can find it on Google. If you type in Pokemon Go Hub and then best raid attackers, it will give you the overall top tiers, and Groudon sits quite firmly at the top of that list. It's apparently the best one to have in the game overall, and I think that's because it's so useful. It's really, really good with, obviously, Precipice Blades, its legacy moveset. It's so bulky as well. It lasts a long, long time in raids. I think quite a few people were using it against Zeramazenta this weekend, and others were using Lucario, me included. I went with Mega Lucario instead of Primal Groudon. And I think those that used Primal Groudon perhaps did more damage than me, even though Mega Lucario has a higher DPS and TDO, just because of how much longer it lasted. I think they outclassed what I was doing in terms of the overall time in the raid. So it's definitely a good shout, that one is. And it's such a cool shiny, especially when it primals as well. It goes to that black colour. It is absolutely amazing. Right, let's have a quick look and see what tasks these are before we move on. Send a sticker with a friend. We'll delete that one in a second. So let's delete that one, and then we can pick up these other two here. Let's get him there. Another encounter, but what's it going to be? Wobbuffet. Wouldn't mind another shiny one of those. And again, quite a lot of spawns around here. Probably going to Silver Cap, a PvP Pokemon. Since PvP equals Stardust, I'm always broke on Stardust. Yeah, that's a good shout. Oh, nice. Nice hatch, Toxel. Shame no shiny. Pawnyard, which is a bit more disappointing. But how good is a Toxel? Not good. Not brilliant at all. So yeah, not very good. But still, nice little candy. And Stardust from a 10k hatch. So we need to put something in the eggs. We keep getting told off by our avatar for not having anything in eggs. Let's put a 2k again. So it is also half egg hatch distance as well during this 9th anniversary party event. And there was also another event details released after this one. So we have a couple of days after this one finishes, where it is the Eevee Classic Com Day. We have both days of Eevee Classic Com Day, both Saturday and Sunday this weekend, 2 till 5 p.m. local time. And after that event, after the Eevee Com Day, I think on the Monday or the Tuesday of next week, we start the Hishui Celebrations event, and that is part of the Ultra Unlock from GoFest. It's because of all those party challenges and global challenges we did during GoFest weekend. We unlocked loads and loads more events, and about 3 more events are going to be happening in the next few weeks. And that Hishuian Celebrations event does feature Hishuian Zorua. That's going to be released in the game for the first time ever. Not shiny available, but still a very, very cool Pokemon to get. Hishuian Zorua and also Zoroark. And then, of course, 4 times Catch XP and 4 times Catch Stardust. That's right, 4 times. So if you put a luck egg on and do an excellent throw, with that sort of XP, you're going to be talking around about 8 to 9,000 XP during the event per catch. So that is an absolutely insane amount of XP, and I would fully expect Stardust is going to be a huge amount as well. I haven't quite done my math on that yet, but if you put a star piece on, of course, 50% extra, you'll go up to 6 times Stardust per catch. So a lot of Stardust and a lot of XP to earn that event. But again, I'm not really into PvP, but if it helps you, you're happy about it, W. Yeah, Hishuian Zorua just looks so cool. In terms of Hishuian forms of Pokemon, I think Zorua is up there as one of the most nicer looking ones. You know, a nicer looking alternatives. I do quite like Growlithe as well, Hishuian Growlithe. Also because I've got a Shundo of it. That may also be a case for that. But I do like that form of Growlithe and Arcanine. And I can see Growlithe having a community day at some stage with both of the forms released. I can see that happening. So the Shundo Hishuian Growlithe I've currently got is still a Growlithe. I haven't changed its form. I haven't evolved it. Typhlosion, Zorua and Growlithe are sick. Yes, they are. I agree with all those. They are super cool. Yeah, we definitely did a lot better with the Hishuian versions of Pokemon than we did with the Galarians, I would say. Galarians they've warmed to me over the years, but when we first came out with Galarian, Farfetch'd and Ponyta and Stumpfisk, I wasn't overly impressed with the designs, but we have grown on me now. We are 3 Pokemon away from hyper training. Right, let's see what tasks we've got. We've got another send a gift with a sticker. We'll do that in a moment. 2 Pikachus on top of each other here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Pichus are made. So let's go, and we need to bin some of these Pikachus. So let's go where all costumes don't get deleted. So we've got to just quickly do this manually for a moment. We'll keep Toxel. And let's just quickly delete these as fast as we can. And we can catch more Pikachus. So we're not too bothered about the rest of the costumes as well, because we've already got all the other costumes. There's no new costumes that are out this event. It is a repeat of all the costumes that we've had previously. So we have got 3 stars of all these. So 0 star, 1 star, 2 stars can all go in the bin, including the likes of Bulbasaur, Grimer, and that Score Bunny as well can go. And that goes include transfer. So we did actually get a shiny Persimmon on my way to work this morning. It was the first shiny that I've had since GoFest. And of course, saying it like that makes it sound like a long time ago, but of course it was only yesterday, or Sunday should I say, the day before yesterday. I think I caught roughly 1,100 Pokemon during GoFest. Helped a lot with hyper training. Yes, it did, definitely. I only started my hyper training with my Gengar on, walking into a tree now, on the second day of GoFest. So on the Saturday night I started the hyper training, mainly because I wanted to do a YouTube video showing people how the bottle cap worked when you used it, and explaining how it works when you do actually assign it to a Pokemon, what options you get and different things like that. So that's why I did it on the Saturday evening, although on the Saturday daytime I'd already got to rank 500 on the Go Pass, on that Ancients recovered Go Pass. Already got to rank 500, so we were well after the bottle cap. Of course, rank 500 was the limit to what you could reach, and we managed to just do that in one day, which was quite impressive. Yeah, see, I don't know whether it's a myth or not, but I was looking into bottle caps and what bottle caps are used in other games, and there only ever seems to be two mentioned, and that is gold bottle cap and silver bottle cap. And then I did a little bit more research, and apparently there is another bottle cap called rustic bottle cap, and I don't know if anybody can confirm this who may have some of the other games. I've only got a few and I haven't completed them, but rustic bottle cap, apparently you can use that to make a Pokemon stat worse. Now that would be brilliant if you wanted to make something into a Nundo. You know, maybe I want a shiny Gengar that's a Nundo as well as a Shundo. That'll be cool. Or maybe it's something you want to make PvP relevant. You can knock down the stats, or a legendary that you can get under a 1500 CP mark, maybe, with the ideal stats for PvP. So rustic bottle cap, I'd heard that on the internet, and I don't know whether it's one of those things that's completely fake and completely a load of rubbish, or whether it's something that's actually real that exists in other games. It's definitely worth looking into, because that would be actually quite a cool item. I know not many people are going to go for it if we don't do PvP or want a Nundo or a Zundo, whichever you call it, a 000 shiny. But still, it would be very, very cool to get a shiny 000 Gengar and also have a 15-15-15 Gengar shiny. That would be super cool. Yeah, I think with the Shadow Pokemon, I think the reason we've probably done that is because certain Pokemon obviously have Mega Evolutions and also Shadow. So let's take Salamence, for example. Shadow Salamence is better than normal Salamence, but Mega Salamence is better than Shadow Salamence. So Mega Salamence, obviously you can only Mega it if you have a normal Salamence or a purified Salamence. So if you used your bottle cap on something like a shiny Shadow Salamence, you could get it up to 13, 13, 13 on the stats of hyper training, which wouldn't take too much training to do. And of course, the harder the tasks, the hard tasks for hyper training end up when you go to 14 and 15 on the stages. So you'll miss out the hard tasks because you're only taking your Pokemon to 13, 13, 13, and then purifying it to just jump those extra 2 levels. So I think that's the reason why we haven't done it, is because you could get away with really, really easy hyper training to get up to rank, to get up 13 attack, 13 defense and 13 HP, and then just purify it to get the rest. I think that's probably the reason why we haven't done it. We're actually forcing you to do your purification first to get it away from being a Shadow, and then you can hyper train it, which means you've still got to do the hard stages first and not the other way around. That's the only reason I could see that it's like that. And it does make sense when you think about it. Like I say, certain Pokemon, for example, they have Mega versions as well as Shadow and normal. and those megas are potentially a lot better than the rest. Yeah, exactly. For what it's worth, I think we perhaps should have just left it like that. It is a little bit annoying that there is only literally one. There's this brilliant item which you've sort of advertised that you can literally change the stats of any Pokemon. It actually says that on the website. And then in little brackets, shadows aren't possible. You know, why only add one restriction? It's yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Less raid to do for Shundos, yeah, exactly. I think also on one of the other games as well, which we're quite interested to see if it does come in, is the Max Soup, is it called, or something like that? I've heard other people discussing about it in the community where I play most of the time, and the Max Soup, you can turn a normal Pokemon into a G-Max or Dynamax Pokemon, is that right? So potentially, for example with me, doing this Shundo Gengar with a bottle cap, I may be able to turn that into a G-Max Gengar in the future. I'm not too sure. Maybe. It's definitely something to think about, because I can, if we're doing it with bottle caps, potentially we're going to add other items like that Max Soup into the game, where you can change Pokemon into D-Max or Gigantamax. It's maybe a possibility that we are going to do that. It's going to be interesting to see. I think we've already seen a difference in the amount of paid tickets there is, or the value of the paid tickets, since Scopely have taken over. But it's still an item where you can or cannot decide to buy it. You know, I think a lot of people were worried when Scopely took over that we were just going to trash the game with adverts and different things like that, and loads of different ways to monetize it and everything like that. But to be honest, I don't think we've done too much of a bad job. We're still giving it an option to have these things. You know, nobody has to go and buy the bottle cap. Nobody has to go and buy a lucky trinket every month with the Go Pass. But it's still a nice to have. You know, you buy it because you want it. So I think we've, so far, it's okay. Of course, we had the Galarian birds as well come out on a ticket, and they obviously were research IVs as well. So if you were unable to catch Galarian bird, then it was actually a really good time to get a decent one from IVs with that shiny chance. So I can see them definitely doing that more and more in the future to try and tempt people into buying Galarian birds. Me personally, I didn't bother with that ticket. I did not spend £8 to buy a Galarian bird. I see enough, should I say. You know, I do me incense enough days to hopefully get one via that. So I think I'd much rather the chase as well of not getting a Galarian bird shiny for ages, rather than spend £8 and have a 1 in 20 chance of getting it straight away. I think I much prefer the chase and excitement of when it spawns on an incense, I think. But obviously other people are different and have their own ways of playing, of course. Yeah, exactly. It's for people who are more dedicated to the game, yeah. Yeah, I can fully expect that Max Soup coming out, like you say, when most of the G Maxes are or have been released. I think we're only around about 8 to 10 G Maxes in at the moment, and I think there's 27 in total. So, and like we did with the Megas, because overall there isn't that many Mega Pokemon, probably about the same amount of Mega Pokemon as there is G Maxes. We started off getting Megas quite regularly when we first came out, if you remember way back then, and now we only get a new one every 6 months, if that. So we've definitely slowed down on a Mega release, and I can fully expect they'll do the same with a G Max release as well. I think initially we're just sort of getting a load of G Maxes out there, so that people can't complain that we've never had counters and different things like that for future ones. But once that happens, then I can see them only bringing them out slowly and instead doing repeats like we do with the megas at the moment. Come on, shiny Pikachu, where are you? Yeah, so especially like that, if you have used your incense really, really often but still struggle to get glowing birds, you was pretty obviously going to buy that ticket. You know, if it's something that's spawning regularly for you, then you're not going to be too fussed about a ticket. But if you are finding such an annoyance to actually be able to get one, and also the possibility of choosing which one you get as well, which is really good. I did like that idea where it wasn't just a random glowing bird you got, you could actually choose your path. So that sort of made it worthwhile as well. If it was one that was just constantly avoiding you, which for me seems to be the Moltres. We've had one today, but normally that is constantly avoiding me. And I don't think I've actually caught my own Moltres yet. I think the only one we've had has been traded to us, so it's still a really, really annoying one for me. Party hat Eevee, and come on Pikachu, where are you? We've got 12 minutes left of the spotlight hour, and still no shiny Pikachu as of yet. Of course it is full odds, so 1 in 512. We'd be quite lucky to get one, but still optimistic we can in these last 11 or 12 minutes. I don't actually know which way we're walking here. Like I say, completely different area to which we normally play in. So I'm not too sure which way to go. Hi Emma, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. We'll go down this way. I think we've walked a little bit away from the stops, but we can hopefully walk back around to that stop there, that one you can see in the distance. There is a couple of stops down here as well, so we'll see if these are the Gimmighoul tasks as we head down here. So another good thing about the event as well is that incense, the daily adventure incense, is extended to an hour's worth as well. So we've got 1 hour of daily adventure incense when we put it on before. So that's really, really good during this 9th anniversary party event. So if you are wanting the glowing birds, potentially getting out and about this event, if you are lucky enough to live in an area which has mobile signal, unlike where I live at the moment, which is currently down and out, hence we've had to come to a different location. But if you're in an area where you get decent mobile signal, then hopefully you can get out and about for this event and get some glowing bird encounters during those hour-long incenses. The ticket was worth it. Just catch up on Sergeant's comments there. Let's just have a look. Missed that first one. The ticket was worth it. It was a guaranteed glowing, but in the daily incense, it's a less chance. Yeah, exactly. I got a shiny Zappy, and it was close to a Shundo. 96. That is awesome, RVs. And I would say Zappy is probably one of my favourites. I would say Zappy, Moltres, and then Articuno as in my order. But I do like Articuno shiny. I think design wise I like the Zapdos better, but the shiny wise I like the Articuno better. It's a difficult one. I think everyone's order of which is better out of the three is completely different, but yeah, it's hard to decide. Well, we'll go through here instead. See what's down here. Shiny Pikachu! Let's go! Yes! We've got a shiny pie hat Pikachu. It's a female one, you can see by the tail. But let's go! We got one! Get in! Ultra Ball, catch. And let's IV it and see how good it is. It's a 0-star, as most shinies are, but still, I don't care. It's a shiny pie hat Pikachu, and the Pikachu that we haven't yet had shiny in a costume. It has been released multiple times now, and it's always avoided us. But there we go, shiny pie hat Pikachu. Let's go. Come on. Now we've got 8 more minutes. Can we get a second one? Can we get a male one? I'm perhaps being a bit too optimistic there, but still, let's try and see what we get. And then, of course, after this, we are going to do our Gimmighoul coin bag as well. So we've got half an hour of Gimmighoul spawns after this, where Gimmighoul is the brand new shiny release. Now, let's just spin this stop. No Gimmighoul tasks there. But when I was searching for the event news this morning about the 9th anniversary party, I did see that obviously Gimmighoul shiny being released, but that it can't be shiny from gold Pokestops. That is one thing it can't be shiny from. So if you have a gold lore module, which you can obtain if you interact with the Nintendo Switch 5 different days, then you can put that gold lore down on the stop and it will turn it into a gold Pokestop for half an hour and you'll get gold coins from it. Equally, during this event, if you scan around, you may see the odd gold Pokestop near you, and that means that a Gimmighoul could be there, not always, but it means that a Gimmighoul could be there when you get to the stop. And also when you spin it, you might get a chance of getting either 9 or 99 poker coins, but sometimes and quite often you get nothing. So really difficult to get those coins up during this event for Gimmighoul. But yeah, like I say, if you do go to one of those gold Pokestops and you see a Gimmighoul, it cannot be shiny from that, unfortunately. But during the coin bag, which we're going to put down in 6 minutes time, once this is finished, it can be shiny. So hopefully we can get one during that. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, I think, and people may be able to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think you can interact with the Nintendo Switch daily and get a coin bag daily, unlike the Meltan box where you have to wait for around about 3 to 5 days, depending on the event. You can actually get a coin bag daily and get the half an hour incense with Gimmighoul every single day. So if you have got a Nintendo Switch and got Scarlet or Violet, you can do that quite easily.
Mainly saying like things.
So yeah, you can do that quite easily if you've got Scarlet and Violet on Nintendo Switch like I have. You can send a postcard over from your Pokemon Go account to the Nintendo Switch, and all it does is send a copy of that postcard as well. So even if it's a postcard you've saved from somebody from a special location, or you think it's quite cool, the Pokestop you sent it from, it is only just sending a copy over, not the actual postcard. You won't lose that postcard from your Pokemon Go account. It will just be sending that over to the Switch as a copy. Diglett spawning on me, incense. Annoyingly in the way of a Pikachu. Get out of the way, Diglett. Party Hat was great balls that time. So let's spin this stop and see what we get. We haven't done this one so far today. 6 berries to help catch Pokemon. We'll get rid of that one just in case there's another Pokestop where we can get a Gimmighoul task. Much prefer that. So 4 more minutes left to go of the Spotlight Hour. Let me know in the comments if you've done this Party Hat Pikachu Spotlight Hour where you are, and if so, did you manage to get the shiny like we've just got a few moments ago, or is it still one of those that's avoiding you? That is an awesome comment. I've just seen that. 2 seconds, let me just read that out. Frostbitten Mage says, I got my shiny Party Hat Pikachu just now. Is it actually as exclusive as people say it is? Yes, it is. It's been released quite a few times with different Party Hats, and actually during this event, the 9th anniversary event, the Party Hat Pikachu isn't spawning except for this Spotlight Hour. This is the only hour of this event where you can actually get this Pikachu with a costume. The rest of the event, it's in raids with a birthday cake costume hat, and other than that, you cannot obtain this Pikachu during this event. It's been around a couple of times on previous events, but still, I've never managed to get the shiny on previous events until this Spotlight Hour. So super congrats on getting yours today during the Spotlight Hour. Is it male or female, the one you've got? I do think the male ones look better. They look a lot more nostalgic. The female was added a bit later on with its different tail, but still, I'm happy to get a shiny nonetheless. So is a purple hat exclusive to this year's? No, so female sadly, yeah, so mine's female as well. No, we've had this Pikachu about in previous years. Oh, huge Pikachu with a Party Hat. That's a nice one. So we have had this Pikachu in previous years, and we've also had it with loads of different costumes, but I don't think we've had it for quite a while, this Pikachu. And it's only been about probably 2 or 3 events with this hat, with this particular hat on. So to get it shiny is really cool. It's probably not one of the rarest Pokemon, rarest Pikachu costumes, but it's definitely up there. Party Hat Squirtle. Party Hat Bulbasaur. Got less than a minute. Let's just shiny check these Pikachus before we despawn. And there we go. They've despawned at 7 o'clock. So Daniel Griggs just asked, is Party Hat Pikachu rare? Just got another Frostbitten Mage. Well done. And he's male. Huge congrats on that. You've got both the female and the male. That is absolutely awesome. What an hour you are having. So Daniel Griggs says, is Party Hat Pichu rare? Yes, very rare. Party Hat Pichu is of course only been about certain events, and probably one of the rarest Pichus in the game is the Snow Hat Pichu. So in terms of Pichu, these are the ones I've got saved, and one of the rarest shinies is this little guy here with a little snow hat. Really rare he is. He's only been about in 2 different events, one of those being back in 2020, and I think we've had 1 more event since where he's been about, but still the hatch rate on him was very low. So to get a shiny of him, I was very, very happy with that. There was also the witch's hat. We actually got 2 of those Pikachu shinies. And then the Christmas hat as well. Now, I don't know if this one could be shiny or not, but this one is super, super rare if it is. But yeah, I think the Pikachu shinies are a lot more rarer than the Pikachu. Just because, obviously, you have to hatch for them. The hatch rate isn't as much. Pikachu tends to be spawning in the wild during events where it's got a costume. But yeah, if you've got any shiny Pikachu with costume, you are doing very, very good. Right, so Spotlight Hour is finished. Before we go ahead and do what we're going to do afterwards, let's just see if we've got any 4 stars, which we haven't, and of course shiny, we've only got that one there, which was still very, very nice shiny, even though it is a 0 star. Super, super happy with that. I have a 3-star 2016 Santa hat Pikachu, which I know isn't rare, so to say, but I'm happy with I got it because it holds a lot of nostalgia. That is a very, very rare, well, I would say it's a rare Pikachu, to be honest, to be that age. The costume's perhaps been repeated since, but to have one from 2016, I don't think many people are still playing from that era to have had that Pokemon and also to still have it is very, very rare, I would say. So congrats on that. So we've done the Spotlight Hour. We've been successful with that. We're getting a shiny, albeit female Pikachu. We have now got one more task on hand, and that is, of course, the Gimmighoul box. So the coin bag, we're going to open that now. This will start to spawn Gimmighouls around us, and it should last for half an hour. We should have half an hour of Gimmighoul spawning. Let's just see if it is half an hour. While the eggs have just hatched, there we go. Half an hour of Gimmighoul spawning. So these ones, I believe, can be shiny. So can we actually get a shiny Gimmighoul from this coin bag? We'll have to wait and see if we can get that shiny. Hopefully. Yeah, so the shiny Pikachu was full odds in that hour. It is 1 in 512. So yeah, you were very, very lucky to get 2 shinies. And I don't think personally I clicked on 512 on during that hour. I don't think many people would have done. So to get 1 shiny is very, very rare during a Spotlight Hour, but to get 2 at a full odds rate of 1 in 512 is super, super rare. So congrats on that. Very, very lucky indeed. Another Gimmighoul, no shiny. So these Gimmighouls roughly spawn around about every 30 seconds or something like that. Similar to the Meltan box. They spawn around about that often. But we should encounter maybe around about 60 Gimmighouls during this hour, if we're lucky. So let's just clear some space ready for that to be the case. So let's just get rid of some of these 0 star, 1 star, 2 star Pikachus that we've just caught and clear some room for the Gimmighoul. The last thing we want is for a Gimmighoul to spawn and us not be able to click it because our storage is full. Because as with Meltan, they only appear on the map for a short while and then disappear. Let's click on one that's just appeared. Nearly hidden by the grass. Now when he's shiny, he doesn't change that much. He goes to a little bit of a whiter colour on his body, and certain Gimmighouls as well, during this event, can have a number 9 on the back, of which we have there. So this is a costume Gimmighoul to celebrate the 9th anniversary. This one isn't. So as you can see, that one we just caught there is a level 1 costume Gimmighoul. And if you zoomed in really, really closely, if you took a screenshot of it and zoomed it in really closely, you may just see a small little 9 on the coin on its back. But of course, Gimmighoul's tiny, so I can only assume that's the reason they have put the special background on Gimmighoul during this event. So we've got one with a special background now. Can we get that shiny one? That'll be cool. So if we type in special background as one word, you can see here all 4 of these have actually got special background. So maybe it's not as rare as what I first thought. Maybe all of the Gimmighouls during this event have special backgrounds. Maybe. Let me know if you've had one that hasn't had a special background this event. So the coin bag, somebody just asked, where is a coin bag? The coin bag is an item you can obtain yourself if you have a Nintendo Switch or know somebody who has a Nintendo Switch and the game Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. If you have that, then you can ask them for a coin bag, and it's literally just sending one of your postcards from your scrapbook over to a Nintendo Switch. It's just a copy of the postcard, but in return you will get a coin bag, and with that coin bag you can turn it on like I've just done, and it's effectively an incense similar to the Meltan box where Meltans would start spawning. It's very, very much the same, and instead we get Gimmighoul spawning instead. And hopefully you can find somebody who has a coin bag. You have to be within range of them, you have to be really close to be able to get one, because I think it goes through either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi from the Nintendo Switch. I think it's Bluetooth. You have to connect to it through Bluetooth, so you have to be close to the Nintendo Switch. So hopefully somebody in your area or in your community has got one. Luckily for me, I've got the Nintendo Switch and the Scarlet game, so I will be taking that into my local community and helping people to get the coin bag on the raid hour tomorrow. In fact, of course, Cabalion raid hour tomorrow. So I'll be trying to help a few people in my community to get that. So guaranteed background in my research, I believe I encountered 3 and all 3 was background. Thanks very much for that, Rev. So that sort of answered that question. So guaranteed background during the event, and it looks like we're guaranteed background as well during the coin bag as well. Let me just type in Gimmighoul, and I would say all of these have got the special background on, except those ones don't seem to have. So Gimmighoul and special background. And yeah, only 4 of them. So only certain ones from the coin bag have the special background. So not all of them do. So potentially if you are using a coin bag, if you do get a shiny, it may or may not be a background one. Whereas if you get a shiny off a task, it looks like Rev saying it is guaranteed to be a background one. So tasks are definitely a way forward to try and guarantee yourself a shiny background one. But still, finding those tasks, as we found earlier, is very, very difficult. We've only found 3 so far today. The task you need to keep an eye out for is earn 9,999 Stardust. That is a task you need to keep an eye out for. I got to ask, because I'm so confused on it, whenever I walk up to a gold Pokestop, they always go back to blue when they open up, and although they still don't give me extra rewards, it doesn't. So yeah, so the gold Pokestop, when you do see them randomly on the map, if you head to them and spin them when we do open up, we do change colour, we go back to blue like you've just said. But when you spin them, there is a chance you can get 9 or 99 Gimmighoul coins from it. Now there is only a chance. Most of the ones I've spun today that are gold Pokestops in the distance, I've gone to them, they have turned blue like you've said, I've spun them and I haven't got any Gimmighoul coins, except one. I managed to get one stop where actually give me 9 Gimmighoul coins today. So it isn't by any means guaranteed to get additional rewards. It is just a chance of getting Gimmighoul coins from it if it is gold. So it's still worth going to if you're going in that general direction anyway. But I wouldn't make any special journeys because it's not guaranteed in any way, shape or form. Another Gimmighoul. No shiny. Let me just catch up on my comments. I think we're all caught up now. There you go. Gimmighoul background from the incense. Super cool looking background as well. I'm glad we have put it in because of how small Gimmighoul is. I don't think you'd notice if you hadn't have put that background in. I think it was a must-have when we coded that. As you can see there, gold Pokestop. So let's see if we can head over to that gold Pokestop. And I think there's one way that I'm seeing. And it means a lot of stairs, but still, we'll head to it. And we'll go spin it and see if we do get a Gimmighoul task and or if we get any Gimmighoul coins from it. Let's see what we get. So if you didn't just see it then as well, if you catch Gimmighouls from the coin bag, they have a chance of dropping Gimmighoul coins as well. We just got one then. I don't think, again, that's guaranteed, but still, it all adds up to that Gimmighoul coin amount that you need to have before you can even evolve it into Goldengo. You need 999 coins to be able to evolve it into Goldengo. Again, Gimmighoul having a very fond relationship with the number 9. I don't know if we're going to spot the Gimmighoul shiny before it actually sparkles. We've just been so small, and from what I've seen online, the shiny not being too dissimilar, it's going to be a case of whether we see the shiny or the sparkles first. There you go, one more Gimmighoul coin. So a couple more Pokestops up here. 18 more minutes left on the Gimmighoul bag. My main goal of this event has got to be shiny Party Hat Charmander, because evolving it into Charizard with a Party Hat would be so insanely cool looking. It is very, very cool looking. I don't think I've managed to get a shiny one before. Oh yes, I have. I've got a shiny costume one there. But have I got it as a Charizard? No, I haven't. So I could actually evolve that one all the way if I wanted to. But yeah, it is very, very cool. And of course, with all those three, now they've finally released Bulbasaur being able to evolve. Because for years, Squirtle with a Party Hat could evolve, Charmander with a Party Hat could evolve. But until this year, until this exact event, Bulbasaur couldn't. You wasn't able to evolve Bulbasaur until this event. They finally released its evolution, and as you can see, we didn't get any gold coins then, unfortunately. So it is just a chance. But yeah, thankfully, we can now get all three and evolve them. And of course, if you do evolve them all the way, you can then mega evolve them. And unfortunately, it is unfortunate that the costumes can't take the can't be put onto Megas. That would be super cool if it could. If you could imagine a Mega Charizard with a party hat on, that would be really, really cool in my eyes. Of course, we're currently doing my hyper training on our Gengar with a party hat, and a Mega Gengar with a party hat would be super, super cool. 834 Gimmighoul we had last. Still no shiny. Another one just spawned. 589. Now I don't know what the shiny odds are on Gimmighoul, but I've seen quite a few people get them so far. So with its rarity, it may be 1 in 64 for the shiny odds. That's just my opinion, nothing confirmed as of yet, unless anybody has seen anything confirmed online. But I would assume it is 1 in 64 shiny odds for Gimmighoul at the moment during this event, just because of how rare it is. Now I don't know whether it's going to be like Meltan, where we turn the shiny off during when it's not an event and only put it on when it's certain events. Maybe that's going to be the case. Two egg hatching, spoink. Quick, get another 2k egg on. Get one of those 10Ks in there. Get one of those 12s in there. No, there. There's a Gimmighoul. Nearly missed that one. Nearly missed that one, but we got it. Now, I don't think I've ever managed to get a hundo Gimmighoul in the game so far. So to get one during this event with the background would be super, super cool. That would be amazing if we could. $822, so we did catch that one. Let's just check to see if we have got anything decent from this coin bag so far. And no 3-star Gimmighouls at all. No 4 stars, no 3 stars. Nothing really to shout home about. Hopefully we can change that. We'll head to other gold Pokestop and we'll check what the tasks are on these other Pokestops as we head there. I'll delete these tasks so far. Not anything we really want. We just want the Gimmighoul task. Brand new gym for us there. Can we spin that stop? We can. Again, no Gimmighoul coins from that one, unfortunately. Make 8 great throws. We'll keep that one in for now because we'll do that anyway, no doubt. We'll keep that one in for now. Can we reach that stop behind it? We can. Those two are quite close together, those stops. Oh, there is another stop up there. Let's head this direction to get that one. Sent with a sticker. We can get rid of that. Another Gimmighoul, but no shiny. So if you're just tuning in, we have done the Pikachu Party Hat Spotlight Hour. We've managed to get a shiny one, a shiny female Pikachu with a party hat, which was super, super cool. Really happy with that. And now we are currently doing a coin bag, obviously obtained through, I think that one's a little bit too far away, that stop up there. But yeah, the coin bag obviously obtained through interacting with the Nintendo Switch with Scarlet and Violet. And we're seeing if we can get a shiny Gimmighoul from it. Hopefully we can. We've got just over 10 more minutes left to go. But in the meantime, we're just finding all these stops near us, spinning them to try and get the Gimmighoul task during this event, which is earn 9,999 Stardust. So we're keeping an eye out for that task. Power Pokemon 9 times, that can be binned. A couple more stops around here, this one that we've never spun before. There we go, we can now interact with it. And what has that given us now? Make 5 curveball throws. There's a couple more stops around there that we haven't yet spun. We'll head in that direction and see what we can get. Gimmighoul. No shiny, 257. Excellent throw. Sorry, 527. Right numbers, wrong way round. So far, because of what we got past events and everything like that, we have evolved a few Gimmighouls into Goldengo. I think we've got 2, I believe. Let's just check that. So just one. Just the one. I thought we got 2, but just the one. So obviously each time you change a Gimmighoul into Goldengo, if you evolve it, it costs 999 coins. So we've done that once, and we've still got 1,600 coins left over. So ideal for when and if we get that shiny, we can evolve it straight away and see what it looks like as a Goldengo. Now I don't think, even though the shiny with Gimmighoul only changes a small amount, I think Goldengo is even worse from what I've seen online. It doesn't seem to change much at all. But I still do like Goldengo as a design. I still think it's pretty cool. And we haven't yet had the other form as well of Gimmighoul, which is the chest form. You may have seen it if you've got Scarlet or Violet. It's literally Gimmighoul hiding in a chest of gold. And that is another form of Gimmighoul. This one I think is called the roaming form. It just carries 1 coin on its back and goes in search for more gold. Another costume that I really wanted was shiny costume Phalanx, which looks so cool. Did 50 catches of Phalanx in person, Go Fest, but clutched in global and screamed very loudly in a street. Was my last research, by the way. That is awesome look. That is super cool look. We did manage to finally get one ourselves during the Go Fest. I think this was around about 40 or 50 raids in personally. So super happy to get this. I think it was like the 6th Phalanx raid on the Sunday, but we've done around about 30 or 40 on the Saturday of them and couldn't get one, even spending quite a few remotes on it as well and not being able to get it. But eventually on Sunday we managed to get it, and again, similar to yourself, I was super happy when we got it. Yeah, I think with the costumes, in terms of costumes, it is definitely one of the best costumes they've done in quite some time. I think more recently we've had the likes of the Nidoking and Nidoqueen costume, which was very disappointing. If you can remember those crowned costumes that we had of Nidoqueen and Nidoking. They didn't even give the Nidoqueen a queen crown, they just left it with a king crown, which was very disappointing. We could have at least gone to that extent. But yeah, it just looked like a crown that they downloaded from Google, to be fair. Whereas the Phalanx costume is a lot better. They've definitely made the effort for that. And of course, Phalanx as well is going to get a new mega release in the new Pokemon ZA game. It's going to be a new mega added to all the other megas that we're going to get added, as well as what we've currently got. So that costume Phalanx that you've got will be able to mega. Of course, it will lose its costume for a duration that it's megaed, but still, to be able to use it potentially is going to be really, really cool. And we'll just walk down here and get this other stop. Again, never ever been in this direction before. It's not an area that I normally play in. So, completely brand new Pokestops popping up everywhere for us today. And we can interact with that one now, the pavilion. Spin 2 Pokestops or gyms. That's going to be quite easy to do. We'll leave that one in for now. And we'll walk back in a similar direction to which we came from. 10% left of phone battery, which is a bit annoying because we've not got a charger pack with us. That's going to be disappointing if that dies. But we have only got 6 more minutes left on our daily adventure incense. So hopefully we can last out that. And then we can end the stream after this. Sorry, our coin bag, not our daily incense. So 6 more minutes, or 5.5 minutes now to find a shiny Gimmighoul. See if we are lucky enough to do that during today. So if you haven't already, please make sure to like the video. If you've been with us for the duration of the live stream, then thank you very, very much for doing so. Please make sure to comment down below if you haven't already. Very much appreciative to everybody who's tuned in. But yeah, if you haven't already, please make sure to like this video. You can do that simply by double tapping on your screen if you're on phone. If you're watching me on mobile, just double tap the screen and it will instantly like it. Or if you're watching on laptop, computer, or on TV, just hit that little thumbs up button to like the video. And also subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on as well, so you don't miss when we next go live. Which I think we might be able to go live a couple more times this week with the coin bag, even if just for half an hour or 45 minutes going live and trying to do the coin bag to try and get a shiny Gimmighoul. I would definitely like to get one live on stream with everybody. That would be a super cool way of getting a shiny Gimmighoul. So if that's something that interests you, even if we do only go live for half an hour, 45 minutes, let me know in the comments and we can perhaps do that a couple more times this week, towards the end of the week. So another Gimmighoul there. 3 more minutes left on the incense. Let's just see what we've got. By the way, could I use my lucky trinket on you? Are we friends in the game, Naggy? We might be friends in the game. By all means, you can use your lucky trinket on me, but remember, you can't trade unless you're close to each other. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to trade with you unless we met up at some stage, which I hope to meet up with some of you in the future. But of course, if you want to use your lucky trinket this time round on somebody that you know you're going to be close to, then by all means do that. And then potentially in the future, if ever we do decide to meet up or do a meet up in one of the big events, then potentially in future you could use a lucky trinket then. So yeah, you have got to be within 100 meters of each other to do a trade. So just bear that in mind if you are wanting to use a lucky trinket on anybody specifically. But of course, I think you've only got until the 6th of July, which is this weekend, to use your lucky trinket. The same amount of time you've got left to use your bottle cap as well, if you've got your bottle cap. I think if you both end at the same time on the same day. So if you haven't yet used your bottle cap, please make sure to do so. I'm just looking out just to see if one spawns under the gym, and there is 887. .6% of battery life. We are literally running out of battery life as we speak, but we've only got 1 more minute left on our daily, sorry, keep saying daily adventure incense, on our Gimmighoul coin bag. We've only got 1 more minute left. Unfortunately, there isn't anybody who plays near me. That is a shame. That is a shame. But yeah, by all means, if you do use your lucky trinket on me, or on anybody in fact, we will stay lucky friends until we do a trade. So you've got to use your lucky trinket by the 6th of July, but it doesn't mean you have to do the trade by 6th of July. You'll just remain lucky friends until we do a trade at some stage. Huge Gimmighoul. I'm happy with that. If we don't get the shiny, at least we've got a huge one. Has it got a background? Has it crashed? What's happening? I don't know if we got that. I'm not sure if we got it. Did we get it? It seemingly crashed out. It's now disappeared. Oh, there it is. It's not got a background. That's annoying. That would have been cool with a background. A huge Gimmighoul with a background. That would have been super cool. And that was actually our last Gimmighoul. So our coin bags ran out. No shiny Gimmighouls, but we did manage to get that shiny party hat Pikachu. And unfortunately, that's going to be it for today. We've virtually ran out of battery life, and we've run out of time on our coin bag, on our daily adventure incense, and also, of course, Spotlight Hour, which finished just over half an hour ago. But overall, successful evening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell. You'll know when we're going live next. Thanks very much for everybody who's tuned in today. Hopefully, I'll see you again very, very soon when we jump on, perhaps later this week, to do another coin bag. Hopefully, we can get a shiny that time. But thanks very much for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and I'll see you on the next